What's going on, fight fans? This is Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Rob Jarrell, and it looks like we just wrapped up a very explosive finish in the second round with Monster Inoue taking out Donaire in the second round of their unifying championship match for the IBF, WBC, and WBA bantamweight titles. If you watched my preview, you know Hakeem and I said that it would go into the later rounds, but we were wrong. And sometimes that's what happens in boxing. You know, any punch can change a fight, and that's exactly what it did in the first round. In the first round, Donaire looked to start a little bit faster, put the pressure on Inoue, push him back, using not only his hands but also his feet, and get in his space and try to land early and often, get his timing down earlier than in the first fight where it took about 3 or 4 rounds. Inoue was a lot more patient. He didn't rush his work. And he waited for the openings to come to him instead of him going to seek those openings. And by him being patient, he was able to see that Donaire showed to open up, maybe for a counter jab, and he landed an overhand right to the temple right at the end of the round. Donaire was able to beat the count, but he was saved by the bell at the end of that round. Unfortunately, in the second round, he never recovered, and that's when Inoue put the pressure on Donaire with the flurry of punches that put him down about mid-second round. And this is the way that he wants to end those fights. He wants to make a statement and start pursuing that last belt that Paul Butler has. And that seems to be the season. Everyone wants to be an undisputed champion. And it looks like that Inoue, and I've just finished watching the fight. The telecast started at 5 a.m. and thankfully it ended up at 8:30 before I have to get to work. So kudos to Inoue. He did what he had to do, and he's going to be looking for bigger and better paydays. He's the man in that division. Whether he can go up to 122, that's on him. But right now, he is the king. Interesting fact that they announced on the telecast, Donaire has 7 losses. Two to Inoue, one to Walters, one to Lomachenko, one to Rigondeaux, one to Magnolino, and one very early in his career. Of his losses, his opponents had a combined record of 100 wins and 1 loss. That's a hell of a career, and you stepping up into your biggest fights. And all kudos to Donaire. He traveled, he took on the #1 guy in the division, and in all likelihood, the top 5 pound for pound without argument. So hats off to Inoue. What's next for Donaire? He will likely look to get a couple more fights, maybe get back into contention, maybe go up to 122, or maybe just try to end on a win. Since this was early, sometimes you'd rather be knocked out early than getting blitzed and taken through a long 12-round fight where you're taking punishment. That's all I got for you today. Tell us what you think. Put your comments down below. What did you think of the fight? What do you think of Inoue? What does Donaire do next? Hit us up at capitalcombat@gmail.com. Capital Combat on Facebook, Instagram. And until next time, fight on.